everyone, it's Tracy, and I wanted to do a quick walkthrough of the second edition of the World Spirit Tarot. This is the edition that is currently available as of June 17th, 2017, from the artist herself on her website, or artists on their website. And there are some differences from the first edition. This is a self-published edition, but I wanted you to be able to have a look at it. I don't have the first edition to compare it to, but I saw Tom Benjamin did a video where he walked through the first edition, so you'll be able to have a look at his video and see the first edition, and then you can see mine in this video. So very quickly, the box it comes in hasn't got any of the little thingies, so it is a little difficult to open, but it is a really nice, really a hard two-piece box. I'm pleased with the box. And then inside the box you have the little booklet. It's a sizable little booklet, about 175 pages. The one complaint I have about the booklet is that sometimes the text and the image are opposite each other, like this on the Three of Swords, and sometimes you get the opposite. This is the image for the Ten of Swords, and then we have the Seer of Swords verbiage, and the image for the Seer of Swords is actually on the next page. But I think I can get over that. That's just a minor gripe. There is an introduction to this edition as well as the introduction from the original edition. And there's a foreword by Mary K. Greer. They do, in the descriptions of the cards, talk about what's in the image, which I do like. I recently got the Lumina Tarot, and although the imagery is beautiful, the book doesn't talk about why any of the imagery was chosen, and there's a lot of sacred geometry in the Lumina, and I'd really love to know why they chose those particular patterns, but it doesn't seem to tell me. Anyway, that's not this deck. This deck is the World Spirit. The book is primarily card descriptions, but they are nice card descriptions. They are complete, and it looks like there's one 3-card spread. Yes, no, wild spread. So let's have a quick walkthrough of the cards themselves. These are the backs. They're gorgeous backs. They're not reversible, but my goodness, if I were going to get a tattoo, that's probably what it would be. It screams to be edged because the front is black and the back is black and the sides are this white color. So my project for this evening is going to be taking a black Sharpie to this deck and edging the deck. It also, when I unboxed it, when I took it out of the box, it was not in order. That's why you can kind of see some breaks in the cards and the way they're laying. I fully believe that with some use, that sort of clumping issue will go away. Start with the Fool. The Magician. Really like that Magician. He's juggling his elements. I think that's just inspired. The High Priestess. There is a good bit of nudity in this deck, so be warned. The Empress. There are all different colors of people and definitely different body types. They're not all skinny. I think they're all beautiful. You know, there are not any people in there that, maybe she's not beautiful in a traditional sense, but I think she's gorgeous. Here's the Emperor. He seems to be ruling his land. Or maybe he's throwing a paper airplane. The Hierophant seems to be pretty traditional, but from a different tradition, not a Christian tradition. He seems to be a bit authoritative as well. A little bit magician-y. The Lovers. I think that's probably one of the cards I've seen the most in social media. The Chariot. Strength. burning bush behind her. I love that. Here's the Hermit. I really didn't expect to love this deck as much as I have since I've opened it. I don't know, it speaks to me. Maybe it's the faces. I think the faces are just beautiful. Wheel of Fortune. I have a baby at the top. Justice. Now, this is where I put Justice. The major arcana have no numbers on them, so there is no particular order. So you can think of Justice as 11 or 8, whichever you prefer. The Hanged Man. Love that Death card. The people down below. Mourning. But she's rising. Temperance. Devil. This is the Tower. It's from a bit of a different perspective. You're at the top of the tower. The Star. The Moon. The Sun. This is the one card I know of that they changed. Now, they may have changed more cards than this, but I remember watching Tom Benjamin's video and seeing the Sun card and thinking, oh, I don't like that at all. It looks like a man-baby. It didn't speak to me. This one's a bit more traditional. It's not a baby, it's a young man, and he's on a unicorn. So I do like this one better. Judgment is an Anubis, but it still has very much the same connotation as the Judgment card from a traditional Rider-Waite-Smith deck. It does look like this card was renamed because I believe it used to be called the Universe. Ace of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles. Three of Pentacles. It's really interesting. She's showing off her work. Somebody's choosing. Four of Pentacles. Five of Pentacles. The Six of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles. I think what made me fall in love with this deck so much was the colors in it. The colors are just gorgeous. Here's the Eight of Pentacles. You know, the mischievous side of me says that this little child has a Sharpie in her hand and she's writing on this guy's arm. The Nine of Pentacles. Oh, I love that. In her own little house with her cat. And then the Ten of Pentacles. The family. Instead of page, knight, queen, and king, we have a seer, a seeker, a sibyl, and a sage. So this is the Seer of Pentacles. Seeker of Pentacles. Sibyl of Pentacles. And Sage of Pentacles. With a pig. Ace of Swords. Two of Swords. It's a really dark card. I mean, literally dark. But it's interesting how he's standing over a gap. He cannot do that for very much longer. Three of Swords is a good bit different from most Three of Swords, but still pretty much evokes the same emotion. And is that around the corner? And what's in that mirror? And what is this a map of? It seems to be a map. Four of Swords. Five of Swords, and that's an interesting take. His swords are broken. And you definitely identify with the guy who's been defeated rather than the guy who did the defeating. Six of Swords. Seven of Swords. Eight of Swords. Nine of Swords. Ten of Swords, ruin. The Egyptian god Osiris was murdered by his brother the dog-headed Set, after a long-standing rivalry. In this scene, Set thrusts sword after sword into the body of his brother, who lies with his hands bound as the waters of the Nile lap at his ankles. Behind them in the red light of the sun stands the goddess Isis. As the sun sets on her husband's life, she raises her arms in supplication to the powers that will eventually resurrect him. Actual physical death is rarely described by the Ten of Swords. More likely it marks the end of a deeply troubled situation or idea, or a multitude of problems striking all at once. Whatever you feared most may have come to pass, leaving your life in ruins. As painful as the destruction may be, it's absolutely necessary. Come to terms with the reality of the situation and find the strength to see yourself through this time. Surrender and welcome the opportunity to end a cycle of pain and step into a better future. The worst is over. Things can only improve. Like Osiris, you can rise again, renewed and wiser from your experience. That's fantastic. Seer of Swords, the Seeker of Swords, the Sibyl of Swords, and the Sage of Swords. Ace of Wands, Two of Wands, Three of Wands, Four of Wands, Five of Wands. Makes me think it's like a cockfight. Six of Wands, Seven of Wands, Eight of Wands, Nine of Wands, Ten of Wands, the Seer of Wands, the Seeker of Wands. I like his attitude. The Sibyl of Wands, and the Sage of Wands, and the Ace of Cups, Two of Cups, Three of Cups, Four of Cups, Five of Cups, the Six of Cups, Seven of Cups, Eight of Cups, the Nine of Cups, and I love that Nine of Cups. That's a great Nine of Cups. The Ten of Cups, Seer of Cups, and I understand that's supposed to be Pamela Colman Smith. Let's have a look. Yes, the Seer of Cups. It says dedicated to Pamela Colman Smith. Seeker of Cups, the Sibyl of Cups, and the Sage of Cups. For card size comparison, I'm going to pull out my Tarot of Witches, which is a Llewellyn deck, and it's the older Llewellyn cardstock, so it's not the newer, thicker stuff, but their sizes weren't any different. So you can see comparatively, this is a larger tarot deck. It's wider and taller, and the cardstock seems to be pretty good. We're going to give it a shuffle and see how it shuffles. Actually, it shuffles pretty well. Since I already read one of the oops. Since I already read one of the meanings out of the book, I'm not going to pull a card. Yeah, that shuffles really nicely. It's bendy without being too. Very nice deck. Very nice deck. So there you have it. The second edition of the World Spirit Tarot, very soon to be edged in black, Sharpie by me. Hope you enjoyed this and have a great day.